Hi, Ayana. This is what I've been able to put together. It looks like some of the facts were cut off, but I can see down here, these are the files that you sent. They're pasted in over here. And I believe the total contract price based on this eight uh, so the total contract revenue is 8,510,000. And so I put that in this first line over here. And I also see that 2027 costs incurred was 2,170,000. So we didn't have any before that, and our total cost to date is 2,170,000. And it looks like that at the end of the first year, 2027, we expected the total cost to be 6,340,000. So I get that here, and the 4,170 is the additional cost that we are expecting. So there was a little bit of stuff about 2027 that I didn't get, but based on those estimates, we are if I take the um, take the 8,510,000 contract price minus the estimated cost, total estimated cost, we are in a profit position. We're expecting a profit, and we are 34.23% complete. That is our cost to date over the 6,340,000. That is B6 divided by B8, we're 34.23%. And so we recognize that percentage of the 8,510,000, and we get the 2,912,000, which you had already, and you had 2027 all right already, and we put that down here in our we just carry it down here, and there's a little tentative gross profit calculation. But for 2027, that that just flows all the way through, since we're expecting a profit, and we have our revenue and expense and gross profit down here, and that's all fine for 2027. The 742, 729 is this number that shows up in that cell with the green check mark. In 2028, things get a little sticky. In 2028, we had the cost from prior year of 2.17 million. We incurred costs of 2.67 million, and our total cost to date is 4.84, and we estimated additional costs of 3.855. So our total estimated cost is 8.695. And now we're in a loss position relative to the contract price. So we're estimating a $185,000 loss on this contract. We are right now at the end of 28, we're only 55%, 0.66% complete. That is, we take the cost incurred to date, which is a 4.40, that's C6, and divide it by the total estimated cost, C8, and we get 55.66%, and our revenue to date is 4.77 when we apply that to the contract price. Then we subtract the revenue that was previously recognized from last year in 27, and we get the additional revenue here, 1,824,000. And I believe you had that here. The cost, the revenue recognized in earlier years, and as 1,824,292. Okay. Here's the deal, is when what we have is based on that, we have a loss. And we'll take the revenue minus the cost incurred this year, the 2,670,000, and we have an estimated or tentative gross profit of 845,000 for this year. We recognize that we've got this expected overall negative gross profit. That is here. We have total estimated, the contract price is 8.510, and total estimated cost is 8,695. So our total estimated gross profit is a negative 185,000. And uh, if we just calculate based on the cost this year, this is what we come up with, negative 845,000. But that's not enough. What we need to do is recognize, reverse the 742,000 that we recognized as gross profit last year, and recognize this. And so this combination is the 927,729 negative amount. And then we need to, and that shows up, if you take a look at the answers that are suggested here, they line up with these. That's because we had to advance that full $185,000 and reverse the profit that we recognized in the first year. And then in the next year, in the year 3, we have a total of $300,000 expected loss based upon, and that actually was incurred, 8.810 of total cost, and versus the contract price is 8.51 million, and we had an estimated negative gross profit of 300,000, and we subtract what we've prior recognized, this 185,000 in total loss. We have an additional 115,000 of loss that needs to be recognized. We take the revenue that we recognize based upon the remaining part that hadn't been there yet, and if I add these all across, we get the contract 8.510. And we have the additional loss that needs to be recognized because we'd already recognized the 885,000. And so we have an initial gross profit that's negative 115,000. And then we end up with the, just backing into the expense from that, we have 3.887979. And if just as a check, we can see this is going to be equal to the 8.510 minus, sorry, equal the 8.510 minus that, and we get the 300,000. And I think if you check it out, you will also, if I say equal sum, I wonder if it'll work this time, of these three, 300,000. So it sort of cross tabulates there. That's all I have. I hope that explains what you need, Diana. Take care.